Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome to Momentum channel. Today in this video we want to talk about BLNK, which is one of the leading companies when it comes to electric vehicle charging stations, as well as providing electric vehicle charging tools and products. We're seeing a growing interest in electric vehicles. In fact, more and more companies these days are pushing for that. Many major car manufacturers are already introducing new models of electric vehicles. And of course, we have some of those leading companies such as Tesla, who's leading the way as being one of the leaders when it comes to producing electric vehicles. Of course, we are also seeing some emerging companies along the way such as Hyliion, Workhorse, NIO, and you name it. That in itself provides a huge opportunities for companies such as BLNK that we're going to talk about in this video, where they offer charging stations for electric vehicles. According to the data, by the year 2025, about 30% of all electric vehicles sales in the world would be of electric vehicles. So that creates a great opportunity for companies that are in the business of providing electric vehicle charging stations and provide support in that realm. So in this video, we're going to talk about BLNK, introduce this company, what they offer, what is their unique competitive advantage, and we also take a closer look at the stock in terms of different valuations and metrics, and how expensive or cheap this stock is, and where I see myself when it comes to this stock, whether I'm going to actually invest in this company at this time, or whether I'm gonna stay away of this company altogether. Watch this video until the end and I'm sure you're gonna find it beneficial. All right, let us start by taking a look at the presentation that BLNK company has for its investors. It does provide a good overview of the company and their competitive advantage. BLNK was founded in 2009 and is based in Miami Beach, Florida, and it is a leader in electric vehicle charging. They own and operate the BLNK network, which monitors and tracks all BLNK EV charging stations across the country. And you can see here on the map, they are spread out throughout the country here in the US. And their nationwide locations in the US, which is open to all drivers of electric vehicles, consist of 5,600 plus commercial electric vehicle charging stations in 40 states in the US, 8,900 plus residential charging stations that has been deployed, and 15,000 plus EV charging stations throughout the US as a whole. BLNK also has a growing number of registered users on their network, which consists of 180,000 plus members on the BLNK network. Looking at the projections for US electric vehicle sales and market share between 2008 to 2025, you would notice that the number of sales for electric vehicles is actually growing drastically over the next couple of years. In fact, in 2018, the US electric vehicle sales were up 81% compared to the year before. And what's more, also in 2018, the global EV sales totaled 2.1 million cars sold, which was 64% up from 2017. But what's more, by 2025, the overall electric vehicle sales are projected to account for 30% of all global vehicle sales. This shows an expected cumulative annual growth rate of 25.6% growth between 2019 to 2026, and a forecasted market size of $567 billion by 2026. Electric vehicles are becoming more and more popular. In fact, many original equipment manufacturers and car companies have announced the launch of more than 100 battery electric vehicles models by 2024, and they are committed to introducing electric vehicles in their product lines. On the other hand, the cost for batteries for electric vehicles are decreasing drastically as the technology evolves over time. With the advancement in technology, we are seeing that there's longer driving range for electric vehicles. What's more, the cost for owning an electric vehicle is also dropping over time, and it's becoming actually much more comparable compared to the internal combustion engine vehicles, the typical vehicles that we drive. So it's going to make it a stronger case for transitioning to electric vehicles, not to mention, of course, the impacts on climate change and how electric vehicles actually going to help us with maintaining a cleaner environment. Taking a closer look at BLNK company and what they do, they design, manufacture, sell, and deploy charging stations, and they offer it to electric vehicle drivers throughout the US and overseas in some countries. They also own, operate, and maintain a nationwide network of electric vehicle charging stations under long-term agreements with property partners. In fact, they have already deployed 23,000 units since the inception of the company. And they generate their revenue through charging the electric vehicle drivers to power their cars and to charge their cars. They also sell EV charging hardware and provide a network connectivity and payment processing for the property partners where they decide that they want to install a charging station of BLNK in their property for the customers to be able to actually charge their cars. Here's an overview of the history for the company and some of their major milestones. So the company was founded back in 2009, initially called Car Charging Group Incorporated, but later on they changed their name, and in fact in 2017 the company was started to call BLNK Charging Co. And then they launched a new website. Moving forward in 2018, the company started their public offering in the stock market and was traded on NASDAQ capital markets and raised $33.5 million. Fast forward in 2020, BLNK has already started to acquire Blue LA car sharing and 200 chargers that come with it. In fact, most recently and in November 2020, BLNK has introduced and announced that they have acquired EVgo charging and its network of EV charging stations across the country. This acquisition will provide the critical mass necessary to make significant inroads in the DC fast charging market and provide BLNK a larger national presence when it comes to charging stations availability. EVgo charging stations will add to the BLNK's current direct current fast charging stations portfolio of 88 chargers that are predominantly found on the West Coast. Here you can take a look at the family of different products that BLNK Charging offers. They have a multitude of products, including residential products, including level 2 HQ100, which is a wall-mounted home charging unit for residential places, as well as a number of commercial products, including level 2 IQ200, portable charger, and DC fast charging, which is going to be a game changer. These charging devices are among some of the fastest charging stations. In fact, they offer up to 80 amps or 19.2 kilowatts per hour of charging capacity. You can see that BLNK has definitely incorporated a lot of innovation and technology into their products, including future-proof designs and offering various payment methods, convenient user-friendly interface, and incorporating energy management solutions. Their level 2 HQ100 home charging station allows charging your car 4 times faster than the standard EV level 1 cord, and comes with a number of features such as long reach 18 feet cable with cable hanger and being compatible with various electric vehicles. What's so unique about BLNK is their potential future partnership opportunities with different businesses, whether it's in parking and services or commercial, residential, workplaces, healthcare, education, retail, hospitality, food and beverage, entertainment, governmental, and you name it. These are some of the various places where they can actually partner with them to install their charging stations. And data shows that businesses that offer the services for their clients to have charging stations, electrical vehicle charging stations, tend to actually do very well. In fact, 84% of consumers prefer to buy from environmentally conscious businesses, and 43% of electric car drivers are likely to return each week to the retail locations with an EV charging station. There are a number of revenue streams when it comes to BLNK charging stations and their product offering, such as energy sales. BLNK-owned charging stations generate revenue through the sale of electricity to electric vehicle drivers. Long-term exclusive contracts also keep their charging station in place for a very long time. There's also an opportunity for hardware sales, as the company sells directly their hardware and equipment to host locations to install these electric vehicle devices. BLNK also offers network management services, including monthly network connectivity fees for each charging station and monthly processing fees for transactions. BLNK can also generate some revenue by incorporating ads in their products, such as through the charging stations as well as in their mobile app. Lastly, they provide green energy services to their partner locations and electric vehicle drivers through third-party providers, and as a result offer some of those various energy services. At this time, BLNK is offering 4 different business models and partnership models, including BLNK-owned, hybrid-owned, host-owned, and BLNK as a service. The following table shows why BLNK charging is a leading force in today's electric vehicle charging landscape. They are a NASDAQ-listed public company that offers a complete electric vehicle charging solution for their partners and host locations, while other companies focus either on manufacturing and selling hardware, providing costly DC-FC charging solutions that are mainly beneficial for long road trips, or supporting electric vehicle drivers with an EV charging network. BLNK Charging is the only company in the US that can provide a full package of electric vehicle charging solutions under one roof, from start to finish. BLNK has a number of strategic partnerships, such as with Google, where it makes it easy to find a BLNK charging station simply by searching for EV charging or EV charging stations on Google Maps. They've also partnered with Hubject, and this partnership provides a seamless charging interoperability for all electric vehicle drivers by participating in Hubject's international multi-network interchange platform. You can see there's also a number of other partnerships for BLNK company in some other countries as well. There's no doubt that there's a huge demand for electric vehicle charging station across the world. In fact, by the year 2030, in the US alone, it is estimated that we need 13 million charging stations alone. So that presents opportunities for various companies such as BLNK Charging to offer their products and really become a leader in this market and capitalize on this once in a lifetime kind of opportunity when it comes to the company and its stock. Speaking of stocks, BLNK Charging Company is traded on NASDAQ stock exchange with the ticker symbol BLNK. And the stock has done amazing over the past 1 year. In fact, in the past 1 year alone, the stock has grown by over 1,358%. This means if you bought the stocks for BLNK Charging Co. about a year ago, your money would have grown by 14 times by now. That begs the question whether BLNK stock is overpriced at this time or does it still have room to grow? Let us take a closer look at the company's financials and then decide about the valuation of the stock and in terms of how expensive or cheap this stock is at this time. You could see that the 52-week range for this stock was between $1.25 and the highest end of the range was $34.67. So it is currently traded at $28, which is somewhat closer to the 52-week high price. And in its last trading, the stock went up by just over 10%. This stock is quite volatile, so investors should quite be wary of that. So for example, you can see in the last trading day, the stock price went as low as $26. So in case you are interested to pull the trigger and buy the shares for BLNK, make sure to take advantage of those stock price volatility and aim for a lower price within the price range of that day when the stock is opened. The stock at this time has a market cap of $904 million. Looking at the financials and the company's income statement, you would notice that the company's total revenue has declined since 2015 all the way until 2017, but since then and starting from 2017, it starts to now come back up. You could see that it's going back up, and in fact, the trailing 12 months for this year is showing $4.5 million in terms of total revenue. Nonetheless, this company is currently a loss-making company, and in fact, it has been a loss-making company over the past several years. Looking at their net income, you could see that their net income back in 2015 was negative 8.6 million. Then it has changed drastically. In 2017, their net income was quite bad, and it was showing negative $75.4 million. But it has recovered to some extent since then. Their trailing 12 months net income is showing negative $12.8 million. So you might then ask why investors are so bullish about this stock, knowing that they're actually a loss-making company. One thing to keep in mind is investors always look forward to the future of the company and what's the potential and prospects for the company. Obviously, the company is growing fast, very quickly. You notice that their revenue is actually almost doubled compared to the year before. So they're growing very quickly, they're acquiring new businesses and expanding their footprint across the US and gradually starting new partnerships with different companies and different businesses globally as well. With that said, it does make sense for the company at this time to be loss-making because it's still at the early stages where it's trying to aggressively grow and invest the funds into the company to expand to newer markets and kind of acquire new market shares. That said, looking at the balance sheet allows us to gauge better where this company sits when it comes to what it owns and what it actually owes in terms of their debt. So you don't want to see, for example, for this type of companies that they are running out of cash because they owe a lot of money to other businesses or to lenders. As you can see here, the company has current assets, total current assets of $19.2 million, which has grown drastically compared to the year ago in 2019. And their total assets is also showing us $23.4 million. If we compare these numbers to their current liabilities, they have a current liability of $6.2 million and their total liability is showing $7.2 million. All in all, the fact that their current assets is well over their current liabilities, that's a good sign. The fact that their total assets is also a lot more than their total liabilities, again, that's a great sign for this company. So from a balance sheet perspective, we are seeing some solid signs and solid data here for the company. Let us take a look at the valuation for BLNK and how they're doing. As I mentioned, because they are a loss-making company, so you can't really take a look at their price to earnings ratio. It won't be a meaningful ratio for this company, but you can see at least how they're doing when it comes to the price of their share compared to their overall sales. So the price to sales, which shows a proportion of their last close price divided by the revenue per share and is used as a basic weighted average share outstanding over the period, shows a multiple of 176, which is a lot higher than the sector median, only being at 1.21 multiple. Just for some context, and if you were to compare the price to sales trailing 12 months for BLNK to that of Tesla, for Tesla, the price to sales for trailing 12 months is only at 19.10. As for price to book trailing 12 months, it's showing 54.75. That's a multiple for BLNK. And again, if you compare it to that of Tesla's, their price to book value for trailing 12 months is only at 34.64. Essentially, what it tells us is that BLNK at its current price that is being traded is really priced very high compared to, for example, Tesla, or even compared to their sector median. That being said, that doesn't mean that necessarily the stock price for BLNK would go down and stay at the lower levels. In fact, the stock market and the prices of the stocks really depend on a multitude of factors, and really what investors think and what the investors foresee for the company, and where they anticipate this company to be in several years from today, and how bullish they are about the company and how badly they want to actually own the stocks for BLNK. It seems from the performance of the stock over the past little while that the stock is really hot at this time, and that's why the stock price has gone up. It cooled down to some extent. In fact, recently the stock had hit or close to 34, and so in terms of high prices, but it's gone down ever since. But then again, it's picking up in terms of their stock price. If you're considering BLNK as a long-term investment, it might still be a good stock to consider or have it on your watch list to potentially add it to your portfolio when you think that the stock price is at the right levels. For me personally, I find the stock price a little bit too high at this level, and I'm not as comfortable to take the risk and pull the trigger. I might wait for the stock price to drop a little bit further before I consider whether I want to perhaps add to my shares gradually over time. But I do like their, the thesis of the company, what they stand for, and what products they're offering. I do think that they have huge, potential ahead of them, because the electric vehicles is a thing of the future. I think, in fact, more and more people are interested to buying electric cars, and I think with the prices of electric cars dropping over time, there's definitely going to be a growing need for electric charging station across the world, and that's going to provide a unique opportunity for companies such as BLNK Charging Co. in this market. There you have it, folks. What do you think of the BLNK Charging Co. stock and the company itself? Are you interested in this company and what it offers and willing to add BLNK shares to your portfolio? Or do you perhaps already own shares of BLNK in your portfolio? Let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear from you. If you found this video beneficial, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might benefit from this video as well. And don't forget to subscribe to Momentum channel. Here on Momentum, we post weekly videos about stock market investing, finances, and financial freedom. Hope to see you next time.